Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bigger Than Race, exposure to all things truth, whether you like it or not, with unique perspectives from different beings from all walks of life. This is Bigger Than Race. Investigate truth on your own terms.
Welcome back to Bigger Than Race. You know who this is? This is your boy, Brando. All right, Patreon members, Patreon group. For those of you who are new in the Patreon, shouts out to you. Now, I do recommend you go back and watch the entire catalog of the Patreon content because there are gems hidden all throughout the Patreon group. You'll also get a wealth of knowledge in that as well. So I advise you to go and watch the content because there is a lot of gems that creep right up underneath everybody's nose. Now, in today's video, ladies and gentlemen, you might have heard of this. I've seen it, I've heard it. I just never really looked into it until now. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you Origin Protocol, bringing NFTs and DeFi to the masses. Why we need to take this very serious. This is us having the opportunity to invest in Amazon, Samsung, YouTube, all in one place. And it's by Origin. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Stephen Shin, founder of YouTube.
YouTube was the first attempt at using the internet as the distribution platform for videos. When we started getting larger and we started getting over 20 engineers, over 5 designers, and when we really needed to scale out the product, we realized that we do need to bring in a product manager. And that was when Matt entered the story. He was the first product manager working with the cluster of very high quality engineers that we had at YouTube. YouTube continued to grow, and it was assimilating, engineering and staffing, and other product managers, other project managers from the Google headquarters into YouTube itself, and he played a critical role in that transition period. One of the first engineers at YouTube was Yupan, and this was before we closed our first round of funding with Sequoia Capital. He was the point person to create, probably was the most important part of YouTube. Anything from the creation of the video player itself on YouTube to any of the subsequent feature improvements. Almost more importantly, being able to embed that video onto other sites like MySpace at the time, Craigslist, and eBay at the time. So it was no longer just on YouTube.com, but it kind of virally spread because users themselves wanted to be able to see their videos on their own personal websites. I first worked with Frank in 2004 at PayPal. He was early to join at YouTube, and on Monday morning, we said, Frank, by the end of Friday, you're to learn macOS 10, you're to learn MySQL, the schemas for what we use in our database, the Python, the entire application layer, pretty much everything. At the time that he joined YouTube, you're supposed to learn all this, and you're supposed to write your own first feature. And every single hire after Frank, we would use him as an example to say, this is what you have to do, and it has been done before. And that gentleman over there, Frank, was the first one to do it. My excitement over blockchain, admittedly, is not from any hands-on prior experience working with it. On the theoretical side of things, it certainly makes sense. There is a Herculean hurdle to overpass to be able to really deploy this to the masses. Having worked with this team at YouTube before, I have no doubt that this team is the team to be able to take on these challenges.
You heard it from the founder of YouTube's mouth. A lot of these engineers who helped pioneer and build YouTube, Google, Amazon are all on Origin Protocol. working and building the newest solutions for the world to come. Fourth and fifth industrial revolution. Guys, I recommend you sign up your email because they have NFT drops that are verified that you may not want to miss. This is the upcoming drop right here, and it has to deal with space. They also just released with West Coast Customs. So 100% of the proceeds from this sale of this NFT auction will benefit St. Jude's Children's Research Hospitals to support its mission, finding cures and saving children. So you can come over here and get you some verified NFTs if you so choose. Pretty cool. So you can come here and participate. But let's go back. West Coast Customs drops. I know you know West Coast Customs, pimp my ride. You can come over here and get some. Come over here and get you a pimp my ride. So you see they have the options. And if you have big companies or artists that are coming to this spot, which is Origin, you want to take notice. You also want to take notice of the 6 degrees of separation. The engineers, the top dogs, leaving the other top dogs to come build another top dog in blockchain. This is what they do, guys. Lupe Fiasco. This is just the beginning, where top creators launch their NFTs. Origin has hosted record-breaking NFT sales for top musicians, celebrities, and creators. Sell NFTs on your own website, not someone else's marketplace. You control the experience. Host your NFT sale on your own domain and start growing your community. Run a more profitable sale with time-limited open editions or a unique leaderboard auction. Participate in a network with OGN, available on top exchanges like Coinbase and Binance. Now they have a OGN dollar, Origin dollar, and you can stake or earn 13.41% APY, which is pretty decent. Origin has a world-class team. Our team is led by serial entrepreneurs, a founder of PayPal, early employees at YouTube, and engineering managers at Google and Dropbox. Ooh! And they are also backed by top venture capital firms and investors in Silicon Valley and around the world. Pantera, Foundation Capital, Pre-Angel, Hashed, and more. Let's go.
Origin is a set of tools and standards that allows anybody to build a decentralized marketplace. And what that means is consumers can engage with each other in a peer-to-peer nature without having to trust who the counterparty is.
On the theoretical side of things, it certainly makes sense. There is a Herculean hurdle to overpass to be able to really deploy this to the masses. Having worked with this team at YouTube before, I have no doubt that this team is the team to be able to take on these challenges.
The reason we invested in Origin was primarily because of the team. They have amazing backgrounds and they come from iconic consumer companies, and so they're well suited for the task at hand.
At Pantera, we decided to invest in Origin because the team had a really strong product focus. They actually cared about the user and really focused kind of all of their efforts around making the user have a really happy experience. I could kind of tell from our first meeting with Matt and Josh that they really understand what the user's problems are and how to solve them.
They've shipped code. They've launched products. And that's something that not a lot of teams in the blockchain space have done. That started really, I think, with their mainnet beta launch, which was a huge milestone, and then continued releases after that. And what we've seen is each time the product getting better, and it's live, and people can actually use it, which is really exciting.
I mean, it's a classic example of something that's not going away, right? When we look at this world peer-to-peer, it's here to stay. Sharing economy, it's here to stay too.
We're talking about over 100,000 members around the world. that is a hardcore fan of Origin. Origin has done a tremendous job executing at a global scale.
Origin stands out from any of the other decentralized applications that we've invested into because they've gone out there and have built probably the best community that we've seen. For us, that was a game changer, something that couldn't be done without blockchain or decentralized technologies, and we wanted to be at the forefront of that.
They want to be at the forefront, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go look about these investors here so we can see. Total raise to date, 38.1 million. 800 plus pre-sale investors. Featured investor. The reason we invested in Origin was primarily because of the team. They have amazing backgrounds and they come from iconic consumer companies. That's a big deal. Look at all these VCs. We are backed by top venture capital firms and investors in Silicon Valley. Guys, there's over 51 that have backed it. These are all in the United States. Pantera Cap, Foundation Cap, Block Tower. I know a lot of these because I kind of study the venture funds because this is how we find these gems. You got China over here, Pre-Angel, FBG, SNZ, Continue, Block Asset, Danuha. Hong Kong, Soar Ventures, Kinetic, Korea, Hash, MedApps, Japan, Smart Contract, Gumi, list goes on. Spartan. Guys, I'm putting this right in front of your face. Individual investors, founder of YouTube, founder of Reddit, partner at Y Combinator, Gil Pinchina, angel investor, Justin Blas, an acclaimed DJ, Stephen Jane, advisor and angel, Uber, Kamal, Randall, big time, guys. We ain't talking about small time. We talking about the big time, baby. Now let's go look at this team real quick. Our world-class team is led by entrepreneurs and engineers from iconic tech companies. See, I'm busting your ass today, and I hope you're ready.
Before joining Origin, I was the co-founding engineer of PayPal and the first engineer of YouTube. I knew Matt from the early days of YouTube, and he told me about the idea of him wanting to create smart contracts for the sharing economy. It really spoke to me.
The most interesting thing about working in blockchain is that it's such a young industry, and there's so much opportunity to shape the future of what it will look like. Solving the user experience is something that no one has even really scratched the surface on.
Origin is a platform which allows our partners to build on top. Really, it's up to us to figure out what are the best use cases for the blockchain and how we can really help users take full advantage of this new technology.
Origin has a really different vision for the future of sharing economies, one in which I think users are not taken advantage of and their privacy is not compromised.
What I love most about working at Origin is really the mission, really trying to do something new that hasn't been done before. Origin has a great culture, very inclusive, trying to get everyone involved in activities and trying to be inclusive as possible.
I was born in Venezuela, and one of the things that encouraged me to join Origin is that the product is allowing people all over the world access to the same goods and services without middlemen and the fees associated with it.
There are 2 billion people in this world who have no access to bank accounts and who can't benefit from the traditional financial system. Thanks to crypto and thanks to blockchain technology, these people can now have access to Origin-powered blockchain marketplaces.
I think the marketplace of the future is one that is completely owned and completely controlled by the community that uses it. Of course, I think achieving sustained decentralization is not going to be an easy task, but I do believe that the Origin team is the one that will make it happen.
Ooh, I'm getting chills over here, ladies and gentlemen. Core team, Josh Frazier, Matthew Liu, Yu Pan. I would recommend you guys come over here and look at some of these individuals. Of course, it's very extensive, and we're not going to go through each and every one of them individually, but you already know if you see Paris Hilton on the docket, it's about to boom. Follow her. You got these advisors over here. from these top VCs, top DJ, and you got Paris Hilton. 100% open source, 196 contributors. Boom. Now, let's go back to the homepage because as I'm telling you, we're about to go deep. See? We're going to go a little deep. I don't like to just go on the surface level, baby. I got to go deep. Now, let's look at these partners. You got Amazon, Samsung, Google Cloud, Brave, Binance, Chainlink. These aren't just pie in the sky partnerships. They are really building for these companies, in bed with these companies, for the future of the decentralized marketplace. Now, you click this Amazon logo, takes you here. aws.amazon.com. Blog. This is the Amazon's blog. Launch a blockchain-powered e-commerce store with DShop in AWS Marketplace. Now, the underlying tech behind the Amazon DShop is Origin. One of the emerging themes of the post-Web 2.0 world is decentralization, and more internet users are seeking greater control over their activities and data. Blockchain is a technology that enables the removal of traditional intermediaries from a vast array of applications. Blockchains provide a tamper-proof history of records and transactions in a series of blocks or a ledger. Each block is cryptographically linked to a previous one, and any change to a block corrupts all subsequent blocks. Okay, I'll reload it. Origin Protocol's DShop, available in AWS Marketplace, is an open platform for e-commerce that uses the Ethereum blockchain. Origin Protocol is an AWS partner network technology partner. DShop has no setup costs and is 100% open source and customizable. Cryptocurrency payments are irreversible, peer-to-peer, and fast. DShop supports crypto payments, including OUSD, OGN, ETH, DAI, and all ERC20 tokens, which reduces chargeback risk, cross-border payment, overhead, and delays in processing fees. See, I'm trying to tell you that this is a monster. The entire front-end application logic, product, database, and supporting media are hosted on the DShop backend, which is Amazon EC2. Customers go through the typical purchase flow and pay via the Ethereum wallet at checkout. The merchant can configure their store to accept ETH, Ethereum's native cryptocurrency, an Ethereum token that they want, or both. DShop has integrations with Stripe and PayPal. So they're also partnered with Stripe and PayPal. Also, a couple other sites. Printful, we'll cross them. More for PayPal for merchants who want to accept traditional forms of payment. DShop also supports cash and manual payment methods. Okay? So, and this is how you can apply it and deploy it and make it all happen for you. Create your free online store in minutes. Harness the power of a decentralized platform. So when you see this, just know this is Amazon, okay, behind this. Now they work with all your existing tools. Stripe, you have Uphold, PayPal, Printful, Amazon, a couple other things. Guys, don't sleep on this. It's a little higher than most that I bring to our attention, but it's only because it appreciated and, you know, we weren't up on it. But now I want to come to the next partnership, which is Google Cloud. And here you see Google Cloud NFT Origin. Google joins the NFT bandwagon with Origin Protocol partnership. Origin Protocol and Google Cloud have partnered to create and sell non-fungible tokens through Origin's e-commerce platform, DShop. The Origin team tweeted the announcement on Twitter. Origin is partnered with Google Cloud Marketplace to bring these NFTs. You can sell your own, create using DShop and Google Cloud. Come on, guys. This is the real deal Holyfield, baby. Now we come over here. Origin is also powering Carcoin, which is through that partnership with West Coast Customs for legendary NFT drops. Now this Carcoin, you can purchase Carcoin on a different blockchain site, and that's called Fools, which I'll bring to your attention a little later on down the line. But there's just so much, and it's all 6 degrees of separation. All, because everything is connected. More than you think. And this is just information on the drop. But we go back, let's look at the Samsung partnership. Samsung Blockchain Wallet adds support for Origin Marketplace app. So remember, Origin Marketplace is Amazon. You think Origin, think Amazon. Origin live on Samsung. In another exciting development for the blockchain ecosystem, the Origin protocol-powered decentralized marketplace that enables anyone from around the world to create product or service listings, make offers, is now available on the Samsung Blockchain Wallet. Come on now. We're not playing no games over here. Origin protocol, it's at 97 cents. It was at 93 cents. I got to buy some more because I know when I put this out, some of you might buy it and the price going to shoot up. Now, this is the introduction to Origin protocol. And you can see the investments from these institutions that I was talking about. There's 51 of them. Now, if these 51 institutions decided to invest, why wouldn't you? I mean, when are you ever going to be able to get into Amazon's pockets at its infancy on the new ground floor of their new product called D-Shop? You can't. Work with all your existing tools. Guys, this is a big deal. A very big deal. And I really suggest that you come over here and do a little more digging, because I'm sure some of you guys will find even more information. But this is just such a monumental project because of who is in bed with them. I mean, we're talking about the cream of the crop, guys. All of these people who you see are working on these blockchains have come from somewhere in the traditional side, at some of the biggest companies in Silicon Valley, in Asia, all over the world. And now we get to see them build something new right before our very eyes. Guys, this is it. Let's actually look up Paris Hilton talking about Origin. Let's see if I can find that. Paris Hilton discussing NFTs on Clubhouse. She invests in NFT platform Origin and joins as an advisor. Let's see.
I've always loved to be an innovator, and I did my first NFT in March of 2020.
Paris Hilton, as many of us know, is an American icon. She has got it all. She is a well-established businesswoman, former model, a talented singer, fabulous actress, and a great DJ. The patron of Hilton Hotels, Conrad Hilton, is her great-grandfather. She's the author of the New York Times bestseller, Confessions of an Heiress, which was published back in 2004. She is the world's most ubiquitous public figure. The Guinness World Records declare her as the most overblown celebrity, and Forbes listed her as the most overexposed celebrity. She has her own brand, which comprises 19 product lines and 15 boutiques globally. This is Paris was a podcast that was hosted by herself on iHeartRadio. She also had her reality television show called Paris Hilton's My New BFF franchise, where our beloved Paris quests for her new BFF. With all of those accomplishments under her belt, she has recently dabbled on finance and cryptocurrency. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about how Paris Hilton, Nation's Glam Barbie, has invested and joined as an advisor in the NFT platform Origin Protocol. Before we jump right in, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button below. Let us begin. NFTs, or non-fungible token, is a form of digital asset created to show one's ownership of one-of-a-kind virtual items such as an online image, videos,
Yes,
or sports.
we know about all this.
In a place where all cryptocurrencies are
I
fungible,
want to know
NFTs.
what Paris was talking about, and we saw a little glimpse. But here's her talking about Origin and NFTs in Clubhouse. Now, let's see where she comes in, but I think this is some good stuff to listen to.
In the room, I'd love to bring him up here. If he.
The rights to the NFTs from.
I think has accelerated is the ability to play regulatory arbitrage and to incorporate offshore in a tax efficient structure, and to be able to do things like lend money to the UBOs and all sorts of stuff like that. So I think that there's certainly a tax advisor can provide more color on this. But yeah, I don't think there's much in the way of limits, and certainly
here's Paris Hilton right here
that bid on Blau's auction. I'm sure Josh and Matthew can provide more stats as to where the bidders were coming.
And guys, what I'm showing you right now, maybe some of you are not privy to Clubhouse. You can only get in by invite only, but we listen to these talks in Clubhouse. Famous people are in there talking, and we get to hear NFT projects and different things, blockchain companies in some of these rooms. Here you're getting a glimpse of what was going on in the Origin Founders Room, discussing these NFTs on their platform along with Paris Hilton. So I'm just going to play it for a couple minutes. Let's see what we can gather, and then we're going to end the video because I think you understand the task at hand. See, I don't got to go all the way in. I just need to go in a little bit. Lead you to the water, but I can't make you drink.
But even people like Whale Shark and 0x1b, 0xb1, whichever, we're not talking about people that are necessarily entirely US based. And when you've got a global audience like that, why not take advantage of your structure as well? I actually would be curious as to I don't know if this is something that you're willing to talk about, Josh or Matthew. What did the traffic look like? Was it predominantly US, or was it sort of a mixed bag?
It's all over the world.
Yeah.
It's people were tuning in from everywhere.
Any crazy insights you took away from that process, or anything that surprised you around it?
I think we kind of expected that the auction would really heat up in the last, couple hours or so. But I think both us and Justin were definitely just blown away at just how much demand there was for the NFTs he was creating. And so, we're so blessed and thankful for all the 33 winning bidders, as well as the many others that participated, who, by the way, will get a free loyalty NFT. But I think this is just the beginning. And so I think having all this important stuff happen yesterday, I think is going to be a moment in time that we all look back on a couple years from now and just feel really, really proud about. And we're glad that we got to be a part of this process.
Josh, you had that one bid that was accidental, right? It jumped from 40 to 314,000, if I remember correctly. Can you speak on how you were able to resolve that with how quickly you did that?
Oh yeah, it went up to 413K. We reached out to the person, and actually there was one, a bit of a learning process here. So that bid was made with the credit card. And we were very sure that, that would probably not, go through. There's not many credit cards that can handle that. And so we checked with the person, and then we, attempted a pre-auth and realized that was not going to go through. And so, it was clearly an accidental bid. And so we just took it off the board as fast as we could. We certainly didn't want to have an incorrect bid affecting the rest of the auction.
Yeah, and our intentions there with supporting credit cards was like making this accessible to everyone. And certainly that played a big role in the start of the auction, where it was easy for a lot of people to participate because we supported credit cards. But really towards the end of the auction, it's obvious of how superior crypto is as a payment method. The finality of crypto and having the money there, you know it's there, and you don't have a challenge of trying to collect, over $3 million on a credit card, which is probably not going to happen. And so crypto is really enabling, at least for this size of auction, it's enabling something you really wouldn't be able to do in traditional finance at all. You could have people like pre-wire refunds or something like that, but you wouldn't even be able to like re-up your bids. And we saw people in the last hour or two of the auction, continuing to send more funds in, add more, ending up bidding way higher than they originally planned. And all of that is only possible with crypto. Traditional finance wouldn't really support that very well.
Yeah, and I think I'll just add to, I think it depends. What we wanted to do was really ensure a smooth user experience, so that both people that were crypto savvy could use the platform and not have it crash like some of the other platforms have crashed, have a very smooth deposit experience. And thankfully, what we've heard from feedback from users is we were able to do that, and they've thought that this platform has been much easier to use in many cases. But also, as Josh alluded to, we think that there's a much bigger opportunity for NFTs even a few years down the line, right? And that's where we need to make it mainstream accessible. That's why we put the credit card bidding in place. What we learned is, for an auction where NFTs could be going for millions of dollars, credit cards are probably not an acceptable instrument. And so I think for that type of setup, in the future, it'll probably be crypto only. However, something that is way more accessible is potentially like an open edition NFT offering, right? So maybe this thing is a fixed price at $50, $100, $1,000, $5,000, stuff that we commonly know credit cards can support, and then it's all about how many people want to buy this NFT in a short time period. And so that experience, I think, would be a better one for mainstream, especially as the NFT audience expands from the whales to crypto normals, and then eventually where we would like to end up is that people are purchasing NFTs and using NFTs to engage with creators and artists and things like that, but they may not even need to know what an NFT is, right? It may just be this digital access pass, this cool digital badge or whatever it is that gives them special privileges, or it can be used to redeem a physical product, can unlock content, whatever it might be. But they don't necessarily even need to know the words non-fungible token NFT. And that's when we'll know that we've really, really cracked a multi-billion dollar opportunity for the creators, and also created new innovative ways for fans to engage with their favorite creators.
Hey, Josh and Matthew, we have a unique opportunity here with Paris, who is flirting with NFTs. She's looking into the space. She's interested. Could you guys give her each like a 1-minute pitch what Origin Protocol could do for her?
Sure. Yeah. Actually, we'd love to hear from Paris first. Tell us more about how familiar you are with NFTs and what you're looking for. Would love to hear from you first, and then we can tell you a little bit about our background.
Okay, well, I've just been looking into this for the past couple weeks, and that's why I was on here tonight, just to learn more about this. And just throughout this conversation, I've been thinking of a lot of different ideas, whether people were saying either using iconic items that I already own, or music, or unreleased music, or even my song Stars Are Blind, or the artwork that I make paintings, which I can make into digital. So there's just so many things that I do with DJing, with music, with art, with fashion, with the simple life even, because I heard people saying you could move, things that you've been in. So I was just thinking of just all the things I've been through in my life that have meaning. And I don't know, it's a lot. That's why it's just hard to really nail down exactly what I want to do.
Yeah, I could jump in with a couple ideas here. One of our big theses entering the NFT space with this launch that we did with Justin is that NFTs have mostly started out as digital art, right? Audio-visual elements, they're collectibles, and I think that's a great starting point, and that does have a lot of intrinsic value, and we've seen the explosive growth of NFTs in just the past couple months, right? Hundreds of millions of dollars of NFTs sold in just that format. But one of the things that we think is an even more exciting opportunity is how do NFTs interact with, and how are they tied to things that people are already using in the real world. And we tried 3 different segments here with Justin's drop, and I think that really added a lot of value and a lot of possibilities for the creators to then interact and engage with Justin in new, meaningful ways. And so there's 3 broad categories that we focused on. So NFTs being tied to a physical product. So each of the NFTs that were auctioned off, they can be put in a redeem state. And when that happens, Justin is going to send over a special edition commemorative vinyl. He's going to sign the packaging, and that's how an NFT can be tied to a physical object. And so if you have limited edition merchandise, you want to create a new product line, that's one way where NFTs can be involved, and I think attract people that are really interested in getting these like scarce physical items. A second major category is around unlocking digital content. So with these NFTs that Justin auctioned off again, you'll be able in the next few days to be able to play unreleased tracks that he's uploading to the Blau.com website. And this is pretty unique experience, right? Because usually artists spend months or sometimes years producing a finished song, and once it's finished, it's finished. Fans usually don't have exposure to the creative process and are not able to see kind of unreleased tracks. But these 33 participants will all go get a piece of that access, right? Not the entire library, but potentially 1 or 2 songs in the lower tiers, and then the platinum winner is going to get the largest collection of unreleased music. And so that's one way to think about it, but it doesn't have to be just music, right? It could be this thing unlocks the ability to view premium video content or even paid articles, something that, is, yeah.
Matt, I just wanted to add, the top 6 bidders basically will be also getting an NFT that we have yet to mint, but that will give them all access to any of my shows for life. So they could theoretically choose to come to one show and then resell that if somebody else wants it. That's a mechanic that I'm quite excited about because everyone wants to be backstage, and I think it could be really interesting to see some of these collectors use the pass. They can use it as much as they want, but it's into perpetuity. But they could also choose that they've maybe gone backstage at EDC, they've seen it, and then maybe they want to sell that access to someone else. So we're going to start experimenting with all these different things, and it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, sorry for rambling a little bit. Just to add on a final point to what Justin was saying, I think a third area is just experiences, right? NFTs as access passes. Justin mentioned the backstage stuff, but also in this particular case, he's actually producing a brand new single with the creative direction and input of the platinum NFT winner. And so I think that's a very, very, very special experience. I don't know if anything like that has ever really been done before, but wow, that's history setting right there.
And as far as what we can offer from Origin side, we'd love to work with you, Paris. We'd love to do a drop. We think that'd be super cool. So we should connect offline and figure out the details. But some of the benefits for you, one is you get to control the experience. You saw with Justin's drop, it's on his website with his branding. You're not sending people to some third-party website that may or may not be able to handle the traffic. The other platforms, I don't want to throw shade at other players in the space, but staying up online with a huge amount of traffic, everyone hitting at the same time is really challenging, even for the best engineering teams out there. But our team, we have one of the founders of PayPal, first engineer from YouTube, some of the best Silicon Valley engineers around. And I think that really came off with the experience that we did for Justin. It's a site, we have a site that'll be able to stay up, be able to handle the traffic. And not only that, but just like the thoughtfulness of like the design, how it looks, how smooth the flows are. We've put a lot of energy into it, and we have a lot of super talented people on our team that would love to work with you and figure out, what a custom drop could look like that fits with your brand and your experience.
Yeah, guys, love you all, and have a wonderful night. You've got Matt and Josh here who can speak to anything that happened. I mean, they're the geniuses behind everything that happened, and it's just awesome, guys. Like, and Clubhouse definitely played a big part of it. I thought I could take a day off. Doesn't look like I can take a day off. That's okay. We're gonna keep grinding and keep building, and that's good. So
Justin, we thought it was all gonna end on Sunday, but I think we're all gonna be grinding for the next 6 months, 12 months nonstop. There's no time for us to rest.
Apparently, we're doing a drive for Paris now. I'm excited for that. Yes.
Yeah, separately, Justin.
All right, guys. So you got a little glimpse of what goes on in the clubhouses, and apparently Paris signed on and invested. So the moral of the story is, don't sleep on Origin protocol, because if you do sleep, you will miss the boat. And guys, just think, we're at the forefront of all of this taking off. Now is the time. Because trust me, the price will go up, because it always does. You know who this is? This is your boy, Brando. Investigate truth on your own terms.